Have you ever been talking about, I don't know, needing new hiking boots, and then literally minutes later an ad for them pops up on your phone? Kind of creepy, right? Well, it's not magic, it's digital marketing. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how it all works. All right, let's jump right in.
I mean, really think about it for a second. That sneaker ad you saw, that how-to article that magically appeared at the top of your Google search, the email you got this morning from your favorite clothing brand. None of that is an accident. It's all part of a bigger plan. But how do all those pieces fit together?
To make sense of it all, we're going to follow our friend Joey. Now, Joey's just starting his own thing, and he wants to figure out how to use the power of the internet to grow his business. His journey is going to be our guide.
Okay, so Joey is starting from square one. No shame in that. So first things first, what even is digital marketing when you boil it all down?
At its heart, it's actually pretty straightforward. Instead of, shouting from a billboard on a highway, businesses are having conversations with you on places like Google, Instagram, and even right inside your email inbox. The whole point is to meet people where they're already hanging out online.
Here's a great way to think about it. Traditional marketing is kind of like using a giant fishing net. You just throw it out there, and you catch a little bit of everything. But digital marketing, that's like using a very specific lure for a very specific type of fish. You target people based on what they're interested in and what they do online. And that precision, well, that's what makes it so incredibly cost-effective. So Joey gets the what. He understands the basic idea. Now for the how. And you might be surprised here. His first step isn't to create an ad. It's to create something genuinely valuable.
And this is what we call content marketing. The big idea is super simple. Instead of interrupting people with ads, you attract them by creating stuff that's actually useful or entertaining. You're not just screaming, hey, buy my stuff. You're becoming a trusted resource first.
So, Joey rolls up his sleeves. He starts writing helpful blog posts, shooting some fun videos, and designing useful infographics. Every single piece is designed to build interest and trust in what he's doing, all without that hard sales pitch.
Okay, Joey's made all this amazing content, but there's a huge problem, right? What good is it if it's just sitting on his website and no one ever sees it? So how does he get people to actually find it? Well, this is where the real fun begins.
This brings us to search engine optimization, or as you probably know it, SEO. Think of this as the organic, long-term way to show up on Google without paying for ads. It's all about making your website the absolute best answer to a question your potential customer is typing into that search bar.
And here's Joey's simple three-step game plan. First, he figures out the exact words and phrases his audience is searching for. Second, he builds awesome content around those specific keywords. And third, he encourages other trustworthy websites to link back to his stuff. You can think of every single one of those links as a vote of confidence that tells Google, hey, this content is legit.
But what if Joey can't wait? What if he needs results like yesterday? Well, that's where pay-per-click or PPC comes into play. This is the express lane. You're essentially buying your way to the top by placing ads in those sponsored sections of search engines.
And this really gets to the heart of a big choice every business has to make. SEO is like owning a home. It's a long-term investment that you build over time. PPC is more like renting. You get a place to live immediately, but you have to keep paying the rent every month. That's why the absolute strongest marketing strategies almost always use a healthy mix of both.
All right, so Joey's starting to get found on Google. That's huge, but the internet is a massive place, right? Google is just one piece of the puzzle. So how can he push his message out to totally new groups of people?
The answer, of course, is social media marketing. And let me be clear, this is so much more than just posting pretty pictures and hoping for the best. It's about building a real community, answering questions, and starting conversations that get people interested and eventually drive them back to your website.
So Joey dives in. He starts sharing his content and his message on the platforms where his ideal customers are already spending their time. He's using posts, images, and videos on channels like LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram to connect with his community.
Now, if he wants to really pour some gasoline on the fire, Joey can turn to affiliate marketing. This is where he partners with other creators who promote his brand to their audience. In return, he just pays them a small commission for any customers they send his way. It's an amazing way to build a sales team that only gets paid when they deliver results.
Okay, things are looking good. Joey is getting traffic. People are visiting his site. But, and this is a huge but, the job is far from over. Getting someone to visit once is one thing. The real goal is turning that one-time visitor into a loyal long-term customer.
And for that,
One of the most powerful, and honestly one of the oldest tools in the digital toolkit, is email marketing. This gives Joey a direct line of communication to the people who've already raised their hand and said, "Yeah, I'm interested." It's his best chance to build a real relationship.
The key word here is nurture. It's just like taking care of a plant. Joey sends a slow, steady stream of helpful content, maybe some special offers. He's not just pushing for a quick sale. He's carefully guiding someone from being just casually interested all the way to becoming a loyal fan.
So we've looked at a lot of different tools in the toolbox, right? Content, SEO, social media. But here's the real secret. None of them work best on their own. The real magic happens when they all start working together.
And this is where it all clicks. So check it out. First, Joey writes a killer blog post. That's his content. Then, he uses SEO so people can find it on Google for months and years to come. At the same time, he uses PPC and social media ads to get an immediate flood of traffic. And finally, he sends a newsletter about it straight to the inbox of his most engaged followers. You see how each piece feeds the next? That's an integrated campaign.
So if you take away just one thing today, let it be this. Digital marketing isn't just one strategy. It's a full toolkit. And true success comes from knowing which tool to use, when to use it, and how they all fit together to create one smooth system that brings in customers.
So there you have it. We've walked through Joey's journey. We've laid out the entire toolkit for you. The only question left is, if this were your project, your business, your idea, what would you build first?